Welcome back, peeps. It's another. And if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff Dares. This channel is called Dares Drives, and we are currently building a 4x4 roaming home that we were planning to travel the continent with. And if you have been following along, you also know since we started said van build, our life has taken a 180-degree turn. Kind of similar to the weather we're experiencing right now. We're at the point of the season where it's dark at 6 o'clock at night. So by the time you finish work and finish dinner, it's already dark outside. And the weather, it was 10 degrees today, so around 50 Fahrenheit. And tonight it's getting windy and cold. It's getting down to 1 degree, almost where our water is gonna start freezing, which means I should probably fully winterize the van from when we installed our water systems. Not to mention that we wanna work in said van, oh, turn some lights on. When we work in said van, so that we can start building out the back side of our van, in which we need to cover it enough so we can put our lift bed in place. Although with where the rails are, you'll notice we can't really, hold on, I can't do this. This lighting sucks. I miss my old shop because at least we're cordoned off, so I didn't have to leave this big door open. Because what happens is that furnace ends up being constantly on, yet it's still cold inside the shop. This is getting crazy. I'm gonna set up a light outside here. Bang, and let there be light. That's much better. What the neighbors will think of that big light sitting out front of my house, that's a different story. But anyways, this backside, we will not be able to finish because I have plans for this back area to finish this all off, but we have to get, of course, our seats and benches and all that kind of stuff in place, as well as get our mattress in through this section before we close it all off. So we're just gonna work from inside here. I got that light over there now. So anyways, and we're gonna use the same paneling that we used inside of our kitchen with all of our facing. This paneling is just gonna get adhered to our lift bed posts, which we will talk about. We have not actually talked about what we made here for the lift bed to mount to, and we will talk about that in the next video, because remember what I mentioned, I lost a whole bunch of footage? Yeah. Anyways, these panels are just gonna get stuck to here and line up with that wall so it's a nice clean seam. And then of course, we can finish off our last little bits of the paneling on the walls. That's the goal for this week, and it's Friday night. So, first thing we gotta do, where our panel meets our wall over here, we gotta put something in there so that this has something to butt up to so it's not flapping against our wall, because that would cause a squeak or a rattle, and it just ain't right. So we're just gonna simply mount 3/4 inch piece of wood back there all the way down, like a furring strip like that. I made it the exact same width as our 80/20 aluminum, which is 1.5 inches. It is a 15 series 80/20. You're gonna bend it up against, you're just gonna glue it and nail it. I'm positive everybody around me loves that compressor at this time of night. And just like that, we now have a nice solid spot to mount our piece of wood. And once we have both those pieces in place, we're ready to start building the walls. Now for this, we're gonna build it in 3 pieces. We're gonna have one coming up the side, one going across the top, and one coming down the bottom. That way, where we have our seams, it'll be hidden by our lift bed posts. And if you've been following along, you know exactly where we go from here. And that, of course, is our stenciling of the curve of this wall. Now, oh my goodness, did we ever just get lucky? We just saved ourselves a ton of time. This piece here was from our countertop there, and it's the exact same curve to the wall. It's same thickness even to the edge of our thing. We're gonna cut these tabs off. Oh, that was a score. Another positive to the corrugated plastic is this has been around for a long time and it's still in good shape. There's no way a piece of cardboard that you trimmed would have been in this good a shape after we moved it the way we did. Because we already had that curve cut out in another stencil, we now have a finished piece way quicker than we actually expected to. Check it out. And And now I should be able to take this piece and we just flip it around. It should be a direct replica of the other side. And the jury says, you are correct. And before we know it, we got both side pieces done. So now, all I gotta do is stencil in the top. We have all of our pieces in place and ready to be glued. But it is now 1:30 in the morning and the weather here in Calgary is 7 degrees Celsius. Our glue that we adhere this with needs to be 15 degrees or higher to set properly, which means we can't stop. So we get to finally fire up our fireplace. Furnace, let's go with furnace. So we got a 20 amp fuse in our battery. We grab our wire labeled 20 amp furnace. We go negative to negative and we go positive to positive. We've lit up. We're 56 degrees Fahrenheit inside the van. So we're actually 6 degrees warmer, 7 degrees warmer than outside inside the van. We turn the furnace on. Fan has turned on. And outdoors, although we have no light, this should turn on. That right there. Close this door for a couple minutes, sit down and do some editing at 1:45 in the morning. And now it's 2:20 a.m. Let's find out if it warmed up inside there. It's blowing tons of hot air and it says 66 degrees Fahrenheit, which is warm enough to get started. So it's time to glue these panels in place. So we'll do the top one first and we clamp it in place. And we'll do that for all 3 pieces and let it dry overnight. And if you have any questions about exactly how we just did that, go to this video right here and it goes through it step by step when we did all these panels and we showed you all that stuff. So go check out that video if you haven't seen that already. And after a couple hours of rest and a few hours of teaching this guy how to catch, ready? Yeah! He is now napping. We are now ready to check out our panels. We're sitting at a nice 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's beautifully toasty in here, but those panels are now dry and we can unclamp them. And I'm gonna say, it went perfectly as planned. So now that that's all completed, we're ready to complete these little slits. And we've already gone through the cutting of these acoustic panels and adhering them to the walls. So I'm just gonna basically take it from looking like this to something like that. Now obviously I do have to let it dry, and we do have the same thing happening on this side. And let me tell you, what an interesting bunch of cuts that one was. Really freehanding it, just trying to make it look smooth. And now it looks like our 2 hours of build time has come to an end. So we're gonna shut this down for a bit. Good afternoon, little buddy. Well, now that you devoured that, we ready to go play?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Me? Wanna put some shoes on? Go for a walk? Let's go outside.
No! 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 No!
Okay. Bring your ball in a broom? Okay.
Ball.
Yep. In a broom.
Ball.
Okay, get up here.
It's a ball.
Yeah, it's your ball. Oh.
Oh no.
I'll grab it. Hold on. Whoa. Oh no. Yeah, it was like that was a mistake, eh? It's like it wasn't supposed to happen, but yet I threw it there.
Oh.
Alright, jacket. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Where's your nose? Yeah. And after all that is said and done, it's now dark out again. Our nice clean shop is an absolute disaster again. Look at the dust that comes off of this stuff here. It is absolutely nasty. And we've ended up with a project in which came together beautifully, right up to the edge of where we wanted it to be, nice and clean. But it is unfinished, fortunately, on one cut because these start getting so thin on these. So when we cut these, we had bought 2 boxes that had 2 panels each in it. So 4 panels, full length, did our full wall up to that small little section that was there. And we bought enough square footage, but it's because it doesn't account for obviously the stuff you cut away for the windows. So to fill those gaps, we've used the cutaway sections from our walls where our windows were, using our plastic templating, and just cut it all out of those sections. Actually worked out pretty good. Because that's pretty much scrap anyways, we were able to try and try again a few times until we actually got it perfect. And on that one spot that's not finished, which is this cut right here on those, if you look at, say this one, okay, they are held on with staples to that sound deadening material that's on there. But sometimes when you cut them this thin, I can't lift it right now because it's glued. If I lift it, it's going to come apart. But when you cut it real thin, it doesn't, there it is. So if there's no staple on that section, you'll see it'll lift away from that sound deadening material. So to keep it stuck, obviously we use our PL glue, adhere it, and then we can adhere it inside the van. But with that being said, this is gonna have to dry overnight. I have lots of editing to do. It's dark, it's late, it's cold with that door open. So I'll edit and see you in the morning. And now that it's morning time again, we can see that that glue held those on perfectly. So now he's going to install it. That means we'll probably have a Sunday video. It's toasty warm in here. Boom, and there it is. It works. Now because we use those cutaway pieces, we do end up with one seam right there, but nothing that's going to affect the overall look of our van. On both sides, look amazing. Now, we can basically consider that just a skeleton. A lot of this won't even be visible when it's done, but it needed to be done so that it didn't look blank in behind our lift. These seams will be completely covered off by the lift. You won't even know they're there when this project, whoa, all said and done. That's that. It's completed. We piled off another project here on this busy week. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Maybe go down there right now and hit that button. No pressure, of course. You do you. If you have subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you on the next video.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Perfect.